Hey guys, it's Bartram here from Warrior Fitness in Health, and in this short vlog I'm going to be answering the question, Matt, when is the best time to change your training regime or change your exercise routine round? So the first thing I want to cover is the technical answer to this is roughly every 12 weeks. Everything works for approximately 12 weeks, and then the body starts adapting to the stimulus that we're giving it and results slow down. And around about the 12-week mark, we might need to start thinking about mixing it up, getting a new training program, getting a change, talking to our coach, or mixing it up depending on how we're doing it, etc. That is the textbook answer. However, if you look at the scientific research around this, and which is why the majority of periodized training plans are done around 12 weeks, that research was done on athletes, people that get paid to do what they do. It's people with a fixed mindset that can just crack on no matter what, and they're working to all their principles that they should do, like specificity, progressive overload, increasing resistance, and done things in a timely manner. However, for the mortals amongst us that do exercise and training to enhance our life and to move forward with our goals, I've got to be honest, 12 weeks can seem a long time. And what I've seen with my clients is 12 weeks, people can get quite bored with. They can hit it hard for 4 to 6 weeks, and then results don't necessarily start weaning off them, but they start getting a little bit bored, start losing a bit of motivation, and they start sort of going off the main track that they've put them on. So my answer to the question is, when should you start changing your exercise or your training regime? If you can stick at something for 12 weeks and you're hitting it hard and you're progressively overloading your body and you're progressively monitoring what you're doing and you're checking the results, try and stick to it for around about the 12-week mark, and then get in touch with your coach so you can mix it up, you can change it up to work on your weaknesses and your developmental areas, etc. However, if you're like the rest of us, what I say to you is stick to what you're doing for 4 to 6 weeks, okay? Measure your results and then measure your motivation, your enthusiasm and your passion for what you're doing, because you might want to just make some micro changes along the way just to keep everything ticking over and to keep you moving forward. I have wrote down some key indicators for when you might want to consider changing your training plan or changing the way you train. So first key indicator is you're no longer getting results. Now, the first thing you got to know about this one is you've got to be checking what results you wanted in the first place. So if you are on a fat loss plan, you should be getting regularly checked by your coach for your body fat percentage. Otherwise, you don't know if you're reducing body fat. So when I say your results have stopped, you've got to be knowing what your goal was at the beginning and checking your progress along the way. The next one is your results are slowing down. That is very different to stopped. So if you're progressively getting results that are slowing down week after week, week after week, you may not necessarily need to change your training approach, but you certainly need to be preparing to change your approach, because when things are slowing down, they're eventually going to come to a stop. And you need to get ready for that so you can just get on with your next training regime, routine, etc. The next time to change your training is when you're finding it boring, or you're not looking forward to it, or it's a chore, okay? Everything starts with the mind. If we're not motivated, enthusiastic and passionate up here, this will struggle to do what you want it to do. So as soon as something becomes boring, as soon as something becomes a chore, it's time to mix it up, go somewhere else, do something different. The next time you may want to consider changing up your training is if you're progressively getting aches and pains and niggles within the body, which are sending you a signal that you may be getting a little bit overtrained, you may be overusing the same muscles, tendons, ligaments, areas of the body, and it's time to give them areas of the body a rest and to go on to some different stuff. So if you're starting to get aches, pains, niggles, fatigued, frustrated, not sleeping, injuries not healing, it's definitely time to start thinking about mixing your training up. Next time to totally change your training is if your goals change. Pretty simple, isn't it? But you know, sometimes we make a goal, sometimes we put things in place to work towards that goal, and then we look back and go, actually, that's not the goal anymore. I've got to change the environment, I've got to change in circumstances, I'm doing something different now. So just make sure your actions are aligned with what your goals are. And if you're training in a certain way and then all of a sudden your goals change, you need to change your training so you're moving forward towards your new goal. And the last one, when it's time to start changing your training, if it's no longer complementing your life. So what do I mean by this? Let's say your hours change at work. Let's say your circumstances change at home. Let's say that what you once found really interesting and stimulating, actually now, it's not really important to you, or it's not actually adding value to your life anymore. That's the time where you put the brakes on and you go, stop, and you look at where you want to go, you look at the available time that you've got, and you look at what will complement your life and help keep you moving forward. Because sometimes we get stuck in a rut doing the same thing over and over, but our life circumstances are changing. This isn't no longer complementing my life anymore. And it's time to mix it up and try it. So I hope that's helped. They are my key indicators when you need to mix up training, when you need to consider changing your training and starting afresh or making tweaks to your current program. To summarise, try and stick with something for 12 weeks and monitor the results. If you get to 4 to 6 weeks and some of my key indicators are kicking in, start prepping for a change or ask a coach to change your training, but at least stick to something for 4 to 6 weeks to actually give it a chance to see if it's good for you. So I hope you like this free info. If you have, press the like button and share it so your friends and family get to see it. If you would like to know anything more about my work, my personal training with individuals, couples, groups, my warrior boot camps, my nutrition, my deep tissue massage, my seminars, and all the other stuff that I do, go to www.personaltrainertamworth.com or do it the easy way. Google search or social media search Matt Bartram PT. You'll find access to all my work. Get in touch and I will help you in any way that I can. Have a great day and I'll see you all soon.